What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Well, I'm back on the road. I'm on I-44. I'm headed from Texas back to Illinois. Driven most of the day today. So, I made the video talking about refocusing. Although I did make one kind of big purchase on my off time, pretty much held on to the majority of the money I went into home time with. Before we get started, just say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama, all right? Do your own research, all right? So, cut my hair off over the home time, guys. Cut it off. Took it all the way off. Just getting sick of it. It's just, flying everywhere, broken off from wearing it in a ponytail for so many years. I'll probably keep it short for a while, but in the end, I'll end up growing it back out. Usually takes me 2 or 3 years to get it pretty long, so there's that. But so I came back on the road. I ended up with still about $3,000 in the bank, $1,000 in the war chest, and a couple $1,000 in the account. That's after this payday that just passed. Next week will be a really small payday. But I ended up, I felt like I had enough money to make some deposits, so I put $200 in the Webull, which is most likely going to go straight into HighlyOn, and I put $420 into the Roth IRA, which brings me to $8,500 total contribution from me. So that leaves me with about $1,500 left to contribute to that account before I hit that $10,000 mark. When I hit that mark, I'm going to be going and creating a new Roth IRA to start dumping money into, probably an M1 finance. I'm still pretty sure I'm going to do it in M1 finance. Right now, some of the things that I've identified that I want to put in there are Facebook, either NVIDIA or AMD, maybe both, and PayPal. I'm going to put those 4 in there. Those are 4 that I feel like are really safe growth stocks going forward into the future. NVIDIA is kind of valued high right now, so I'm not sure. I may go with AMD. But there's going to be many more stocks in that portfolio. Those are just a few that I've identified right now that I'm feeling like I want to go in there. I've still got some time, and I have not created that account or started on the pie yet. If you've got suggestions of things you might think I should put in there, leave them down in the comments so I can look into them. This account is not going to be focused on these small pre-revenue companies, okay? So let me know if you're going to leave me suggestions in the comments below. Let's not do shit like fucking ZEV and Lion Electric and these smaller startup type stuff. I want to go in this new one for long term. I want to go with ETFs and growth stocks that are more assured to grow over the next 5 years, and with less risk involved. Okay, I'm going to save the Roth IRA that I've currently got and use that for the more risky stuff. And this is going to be a picture of me starting to look more at safer long-term growth companies. All right. So the cash account, I want to get HighlyOn up. It's my biggest position right now in the cash account. I'm going to take this $200 deposit and probably dump it all into HighlyOn. Guys, HighlyOn is about to be doing things. They're about to be doing the things, all right? End of September, they're on track. They're going to start delivering these ERX demo models. They're releasing a new update to the hybrid system. There's just a lot of stuff's going to be going on for the rest of this year with HighlyOn. And I really feel like right now, sub $10 is a really good time to start throwing some money at it. Like, I know there's a lot of people on my list who are in it at much higher prices, but now to me, you know, is a really good time to start throwing some money at HighlyOn, all right? I may even buy some more in the Roth IRA, even though I'm, you know, mostly kind of in my mind, I'm targeting short to mid-term gains in that. But the stuff that I have right now and the way the market's been acting, I'm probably going to have to sit on a lot of this stuff in the Roth IRA for a little bit longer before I can think about selling stuff. OEG got a big old contract, but then they did an offering right after, so the stock came back down. I really, before the offering came out, I was like, man, this could be it. But, you know, there will be more things on the horizon for OEG that's going to push that stock up. And in truth, offerings in general are a good thing. A lot of people view them in a negative light, but really offerings are a good thing for growth companies. And so the offering with OEG doesn't bother me. I'm down in the stock right now, but I have confidence that it's going to come back, and I'm willing to hold it and wait. You know, all the stuff I'm in right now is down, but it's all stuff that I feel confident in. Of course, I've still got some Lordstown Motors in the cash account, just a little bit, 20 shares, and some in the M1 Finance in the YouTube account. I'm still holding it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not selling it. You know, it's a relatively small amounts of that stock, and I still do think that the stock could do really well over the next year. I'm just not willing to put a whole bunch of money in it in the Roth IRA on a short-term bet. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now, guys. I'm fixing to really start concentrating on stacking this money, on building up my savings in my war chest, while also making some smaller deposits in the stock market. Bitcoin has come back up. You know, it's in that 33,000, 34,000 range, somewhere around there. Right now, today, it had dropped down below 30,000. You know, and Ethereum kind of tracks that similarly. You know, so it was a rough week. It was a rough week last week. I mean, there's no question about it. And the inflation numbers and the jobs numbers and stuff could potentially keep pushing it down. But I feel like we're going to have this bounce back period at the, you know, near the end of the year that's going to change the tone of things. You know, so even in the Roth IRA, I'm holding stuff for right now. I'm still hoping that we're going to get some big bumps and I can get out of some positions, but I'm not counting on it. And for the moment, I'm sitting on what I got. That means that there's not going to be a lot of really, you know, fantastic bunch of stuff to talk about on the channel. All right, maybe I'll do some real talk videos. You know, maybe somebody talks some shit in the comments. I do some real talk videos. Maybe a HighlyOn video coming, because, man, I really think there's a lot of things just on the horizon for HighlyOn. You know, it's still going to be a while before their product really starts proliferating, like, and becoming a thing in the industry. But just in general, they've got a lot of catalysts coming up that could push the stock higher. And so I'm going to say again that right now could be a really good time to start throwing some money into HighlyOn while it's beat down, all right? I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. My investments have not worked out really well over the last 6 months, so don't just do some shit because I said it. Jesus Christ. Do your own research, make your own decisions, all right? But I'm going to start stacking, guys. I'm going to really start stacking. I've been doing some math. I've been thinking about how much I can potentially stack over this year. I'm not going to set any targets, but my income has increased because of raises and stuff like that. It's more steady because of this dedicated thing, and like, if I really buckle down, I think I can put a lot more back this year than I did over the last, or this next 12 months than I did over the last 12 months, all right? And yeah, I'm fixing to start jamming on it and really trying to build up the cash, guys. So like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna dump all that in the stock market. I'm trying to build up some savings. I'm gonna look at some some potentially alternative types of investments that are not stock market based. And then also I will be putting some into the stock market, but I want to build up some cash and get me a good stockpile of cash built up, all right? And so we're going to start working on that right now. As of now, back on the road, and here we go. Stack that money, guys. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon to help me on the journey. You know, keep track of what's going on, Patreon or no Patreon, but, you know, consider joining that Patreon. It's in the description below, and I appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching.